This story follows a wealthy young businessman named Ronnie, who is determined to build a luxury hotel and landmark tower in the middle of a forest. For Ronnie, the project is a statement of power and modern ambition. He believes permits, engineers, and money can solve any obstacle. The obstacle he does not expect is Lisa, a college student who has loved plants and wildlife since childhood and who treats the forest as a living home. Lisa's resistance starts as a public protest, but Ronnie decides that winning the forest is easier if he can win the person who stands in front of it. The film opens with Lisa walking through the woods at dawn. She carries small packets of food for stray animals and moves with an ease that suggests she has been coming here for years. She checks on birds' nests, watches deer tracks near the water, and collects plastic bottles left behind by visitors. The forest calms her, and she believes it is worth defending because it cannot speak for itself. Her calm is interrupted by the hard scream of machinery. She follows the sound and finds workers cutting down trees and clearing brush, marking the ground as if the forest is already a blueprint. Lisa argues that the area is habitat and that they have no right to destroy it. The workers respond with tired faces, saying they have orders and they are only laborers. Lisa refuses to accept that excuse. She pulls out her phone and records the cutting, the stumps, and the machines, creating evidence she can show to officials and news outlets. The workers attempt to discourage her, but they continue working. Lisa leaves furious and shaken, already planning how to fight back. Back at her hostel, Lisa tells her closest friend, Sam, what she saw. Sam shares her anger and suggests gathering students who care about the environment. By the next day, Lisa, Sam, and several classmates return to the site and begin a protest. They stand in front of equipment, hold signs, and call local media. Cameras arrive, and the story spreads quickly because the conflict is simple and dramatic. Young students versus corporate power. Under public scrutiny, the workers pause, and the construction is temporarily halted. Lisa feels she has won a small battle, but she understands the war has only begun. The following day at college, the principal announces that Ronnie, the son of the country's most famous businessman, wants to address the students. Ronnie appears confident and polished, presenting himself as a modern leader. He displays permits and speaks of economic growth, jobs, and prestige. He argues that the project is legal and approved, and that cities must change to survive. Lisa challenges him, asking what happens to the animals when the forest is cut, and what happens to the land itself if it cannot support heavy building. Ronnie responds with smooth certainty, promising that animals will move elsewhere and that development will create a brighter future. He treats her objections as emotional noise rather than legitimate science. Soon after, Lisa is called into the principal's office and suspended. Officially, she has failed to pay fees for too long. Lisa truly lacks the money, but the timing makes the suspension feel like punishment for embarrassing powerful people. Lisa leaves campus with humiliation burning in her chest. That night, she goes to a club to distract herself and calm down. Ronnie is there as well, moving through the crowd like someone who expects rooms to open for him. Lisa confronts him, certain he influenced the decision, and her anger is sharp enough to draw attention. Ronnie denies responsibility and then uses his influence to pressure the principal into restoring her admission, turning a sudden reversal into a demonstration of power. The gesture looks like kindness while also revealing how easily Ronnie can bend institutions. Later that night, Lisa visits a dog holding area, believing the animals there are trapped and neglected. She breaks in and begins releasing them. Security guards catch her and grab her, ready to punish her for trespassing. Ronnie arrives, distracts the guards, and helps Lisa escape with the dogs. The rescue plays like heroism, but Lisa senses calculation behind it. By morning, she wakes in Ronnie's house with gaps in her memory from drinking and adrenaline. She panics, fearing she has lost control of her choices, but she finds herself safe, dressed, and alone. Ronnie insists he did not take advantage of her, and for the moment, Lisa has no evidence to argue. Over the next days, Ronnie begins a careful campaign to soften Lisa's resistance. He offers her an expensive car as a gift, hoping wealth will create obligation. Lisa refuses, telling him she cannot be bought. Ronnie persists anyway, appearing in places she frequents, including the forest itself, as if he wants to prove he can enter her sacred space. He proposes a bargain. Lisa will live with him for 1 week. If, after seeing him up close, she still believes he is selfish and unworthy, he will abandon the forest project and leave. If she changes her mind, he will continue building without opposition. Ronnie presents it as a fair test, but it is also a trap designed to make emotion do the work that arguments cannot. Sam warns her repeatedly that Ronnie's deal is a trap. Lisa argues that saving the forest is worth discomfort and that she will protect herself. Before moving in, she writes a contract listing boundaries, including that Ronnie will not touch her without clear consent and will not interfere with her education. Ronnie signs without hesitation, smiling as if he enjoys being challenged. Lisa moves into his home and is struck by how curated it feels. The rooms are filled with expensive art, rare collectibles, and objects that suggest Ronnie enjoys controlling environments and people. people. Ronnie gives Lisa a device and insists she keep it with her, claiming it is for safety. Lisa is uneasy but carries it. The next day, she takes it to college because she has an important exam. During the test, Ronnie turns the device on remotely. Lisa suddenly feels physical discomfort and buzzing distraction that breaks her focus. Her hands tremble. Her thoughts scatter, and her exam is ruined. She returns home furious and confronts Ronnie. Ronnie treats the sabotage like an experiment, insisting he wants to see her true temperament and force her to reveal what she hides behind discipline. Lisa realizes Ronnie enjoys crossing lines without openly breaking his promises. Still, Ronnie shifts tactics again. He floods Lisa with planned outings and attention, trying to replace anger with excitement. He makes her try on different outfits for an event, rejecting her choices until she feels like a mannequin. He takes her to a public show where she feels exposed, and she creates a commotion just to force him to leave. Ronnie responds by pulling her away quickly, protective in a way that seems caring, even though the situation was created by his control in the first place. Their relationship changes through adrenaline and vulnerability. Ronnie encourages Lisa to drive, and she speeds along open roads, thrill and fear mixing in her chest. Ronnie seems excited by her recklessness. Later, he takes her to a painting session where they sketch each other. The quiet concentration creates a rare calm, and Lisa sees a side of Ronnie that seems patient and almost sincere. She begins to suspect that he is not purely evil, but a man trained to treat life as a contest he must win. Ronnie brings Lisa to meet her family. Lisa is tense and unhappy because her father remarried after her mother's death, leaving Lisa with unresolved grief and resentment. At dinner, Lisa barely speaks and withdraws, feeling like a stranger in her own history. Ronnie tries to smooth the tension, but Lisa asks to leave, and he brings her back to his home. Sam calls again and asks to meet, worried that Lisa is being manipulated. Lisa refuses because she wants to finish the week and because she feels herself changing. The more she worries she is losing the clarity that first pushed her into activism. As the final day approaches, Ronnie becomes gentler, letting the week drift toward its end, as if he expects Lisa to choose him without a fight. Lisa wants to understand Ronnie's family more deeply, so she visits his parents. Ronnie's father is blunt and dismissive, treating environmental concern as sentimental weakness. Lisa pushes back, criticizing the habit of treating living land as disposable. The tension rises, and Ronnie defends Lisa, forcing his father to apologize. Lisa is surprised by Ronnie's loyalty, and it pulls her closer. Later, Ronnie shows Lisa more of his private spaces, and the emotional pressure finally breaks her resolve. She kisses him and allows intimacy, crossing the boundary she set at the start. In that moment, she feels she has lost the wager because her feelings are now tangled with his attention. She returns home afterward heavy with regret, convinced she betrayed the forest, her friends, and her own principles. Ronnie, satisfied, begins preparing to restart the project, believing the obstacle has been removed. Then Ronnie discovers a truth his father hid. The land intended for construction is not solid ground but a swampy stretch that could swallow foundations and ruin everything. Ronnie realizes the assurances about stability were lies meant to keep permits, investors, and public confidence in place. Enraged, he confronts his father and rejects him, rejecting the project as well. The confrontation is messy, fueled by pride and disappointment, but it ends with Ronnie canceling the plan and admitting that his ambition blinded him. Ronnie goes into the woods to find Lisa and make his final choice clear. Lisa's emotions collide: relief that the forest is safe, anger at how she was manipulated, and tenderness for the moments that felt real. She forgives him enough to let go of rage, while still recognizing the harm he caused and the ways he tried to control her. The ending leans into romantic closure, suggesting that both of them have changed. Lisa remains committed to protecting the forest, and Ronnie leaves with a quieter understanding of responsibility. After Ronnie walks away from the forest, Lisa returns to Sam and the other students and admits how close she came to losing herself. The group documents the swampy ground, shares it with local officials, and pressures them to freeze any future permits. Ronnie leaves the city, cutting ties with his father's plans, and the workers pack up their equipment. Weeks later, Lisa visits the forest again, hearing only wind and birds instead of machines, and she feels both victory and sadness. Her feelings for Ronnie remain complex, but she keeps them private and chooses the forest first. She promises herself to protect it for life.